Here's the ads that Jewish voters in Pennsylvania are getting.
Two-faced Kamala Harris is secretly campaigning for Palestine and trying to get away with it.
I will not be silent about the scale of human suffering in Gaza.
The first most tragic story is October 7th.
Hospitals.
In Detroit, Vice President Kamala Harris was asked if she could lose due to the anger felt by Arabs, Muslims, and supporters of the Palestinian cause over civilian deaths in Gaza.
How risky is it that you could lose the election?
Well, it is undeniable that it is something that everyone is aware of what is happening there. I speak publicly all the time about the fact that there are so many tragic stories coming from Gaza, and of course, the first in this phase of everything that has happened, the first most tragic story is October 7th.
Oh my God, it is the most tragic. You're right. Yeah, there's been an October 7 daily since then, but it is the most tragic. I mean, the only way you see this is if you only see Israelis as human. That's it. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. You definitely do not, like, you can be as PR trained as you want to be. You can be as media trained as a person who's running for president, right? And even then, no matter what, okay? No matter what, if you have this underlying attitude that, like, Arabs, Muslims are kind of deserving of being relegated to collateral damage status. If you operate with that assumption, if you operate with that as your starting point, you're always going to fuck up because it's not genuine. It's not. Like, all of the lip service is so disingenuous that the underlying disproportionality of the violence that is justified is so apparent in every single instance. This isn't to say that October 7 is not a tragic incident, is not a massacre. Of course it is. But to simply say it is the most tragic, the first thing that happened, and it's the most tragic thing that happened in the aftermath, when you don't actually fucking look at 12 months of active genocide that has been multiple thousands of October 7s at this point. I don't know. I mean, you're just, it's very obvious. It's very obvious that you don't care. If anything, you're just kind of annoyed that you even have to answer to the humanity of Palestinians. Like, it's just like, ugh, why don't they just like die quietly? News analysis. Vice President Kamala Harris advised her the empathy she has expressed for Palestinians in Gaza should not be confused with any willingness to break from U.S. foreign policy towards Israel as a presidential candidate. I think it's interesting that like they even care to do this sort of thing. They should just fucking be more honest about it. I think overall, like, there is no difference between the actions that the American government takes in the way that we have locked into a double suicide pact with Israel, right? There is virtually no difference. There's no daylight between that and fucking Donald Trump. The only difference is Donald Trump is like, no, that shit is good, and I'm in agreement with it. Whereas this administration tries to play this song and dance as though they are like trying to stop Israel, but failing to do so, making them appear even weaker.
And what happened that day, and then what has happened since. And I think what's critically important as we look at this moment is, one, acknowledging the tragedy of what has happened in Gaza.
But it satisfies the libs? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. That's why liberals will desperately look for anything and everything they can to grab onto. Like, oh, there's you guys that are speaking out against Israel are actually doing so from like an anti-Semitic POV or something. No, they can't tackle the issue. They can't tackle the issue directly. So they just like try to disperse, try to like fucking get you to not look at the glaringly obvious death and destruction in front of your eyes. Both my parents are Zionist megalibs, and even they are starting to recognize that this issue is going to be the one that does Kamala in because of how unpopular what Israel's doing is. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there are, I think, thank you for the 50 gifted subs, D2. That's it. That's That's it. Like liberals also literally are not on, and they're not in line with the Harris administration on this. So for them, I think it's more so about just like getting her to shut up about it too. They're just like, oh, I don't want to even think about that. Now you might know some people who are denying what Israel's doing is genocide or whatever, but ultimately, even they recognize that it's kind of fucked up.
Gaza, in terms of the extraordinary number of innocent Palestinians who have been killed, and taking that seriously and speaking truth about that. In addition, of course, to what I said about what happened on October 7 in terms of 1,200 innocent Israelis being slaughtered, women being horribly raped. And then fast forwarding to today with the killing of Sinwar, this creates an opening that I believe we must take full advantage of to dedicate ourselves to ending this war and bringing the hostages home.
But it's not working so far.
You know what? Listen, as it relates to the issues in the Middle East and in particular in that region, it has never been easy. But that doesn't mean we give up, okay? It is always going to be difficult. It does not mean we give up. We can't give up.
We have time for one more.
I mean, I think that they are actively trying to push the Arab voters away, by the way. I don't think that they're like turning their back on the Arab voters. I think they are actively pushing the Arab voters away because they're like somehow, I guess, fearful. Thread: Elon Musk targeting Muslim and Jewish voters in Michigan and PA with either showing Kamala as pro-Palestine and pro-Israel. An Elon Musk funded PAC is micro-targeting Muslim people in Michigan and Jewish people in Pennsylvania with the opposite messaging about Kamala Harris using zip code targeting, according to data I pulled from Snapchat. A few things from this investigation. Damn, 404 Media. Okay. Respect to Jason Keebler. They are targeting areas in Michigan that have many Muslim voters with ads saying Kamala stands with Israel. I mapped the targeting and it's very specific. They're targeting an area outside of Flint that has a major mosque, but no other parts of Flint. They're targeting a section of Detroit that is majority Muslim. They're not targeting an adjacent area that is 95% black. Then they are targeting an area immediately above that, which has several mosques. It looks like this. That's crazy. In Pittsburgh, they are targeting traditionally Jewish neighborhoods, including a neighborhood where the Tree of Life massacre happened several years ago, as well as several suburbs with large synagogues. In Philadelphia, the targeted areas align with neighborhoods and suburbs that the Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia says have vibrant Jewish communities. They're also targeting the town of Hanover, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure exactly why they're targeting Hanover, but it is home to Utz Chips Factory, and the Utz is highlighted that it makes kosher products and has a rabbinic coordinator. A related PAC also funded by Elon Musk is targeting black voters in battleground states with ads that say Dems are going to ban menthol cigarettes. These ads are targeted using interest targeting that a political operative might think is more likely to hit black voters. Here are the Jewish voters here's the ads that Jewish voters in Pennsylvania are getting.
Two-faced Kamala Harris is secretly campaigning for Palestine and trying to get away with it.
I will not be silent about the scale of human suffering in Gaza, including the death of far too many innocent civilians. Our common humanity compels us to act.
Kamala Harris, stop pandering to Palestine and stand with our ally Israel.
Yo, that's awesome. What is this music?
Is she running ads pandering to Palestine? We must stand up to anti-Semitism. We say no more. Why did Kamala Harris support denying Israel the weapons needed to defeat the Hamas terrorists who massacred thousands? And why did Harris show sympathy for college protesters who are
D2, thank you for another 50 big ones.
rabidly anti-Semitic? We must stand up to anti-Semitism. We say no more. In Jewish communities throughout America, questions are being asked. Why did Kamala Harris support denying Israel the weapons needed to defeat the Hamas terrorists who massacred thousands? And why did Harris show sympathy for college protesters who are rabidly anti-Semitic? And why is she running ads pandering to Palestine?
By the way, this is the same Pat that did this rat fuck. Oh, the anti-Harris Trust ad. No, I don't think it's the same PAC, by the way. I think this. Jason Keebler says that this is an Elon Musk funded PAC. I think that was a separate PAC that was doing the same thing, by the way. Oh, it is. This is Future Coalition. Wait, Elon Musk is also funding Future Coalition. Exclusive. Trump ground game in key states flagged as potentially fake. Data suggests canvassers linked to Elon Musk America PAC falsely claimed to have visited homes of potential voters. That's amazing. Oh my God. He is, dude, that's so funny. They're fucking themselves over, dog. They have no ground game. He relegated his ground game to Elon Musk. I told you guys this when I found out that the Trump campaign, when I found out that the Trump campaign was using Elon and Turning Point as their ground game. Turning Point is a little bit more serious about this stuff and has more experience, but especially Elon Musk, I was like, that's the dumbest fucking thing you can do. Okay? These things need to be directly coordinated. These things need to be coordinated directly by the campaign. You cannot hope that Elon Musk will fucking push you across the finish line. The ground game is very important for turnout. That is hilarious that Elon Musk, being the charlatan that he is, grifting. In Philadelphia, they targeted the areas of line. Okay, here are the ads that they were running, and here are the ads Muslim voters in Michigan are getting.
She stands with Israel and the Jewish people. Kamala Harris gets it. We can trust her.
You don't always know where Kamala Harris stands. She's changed her mind a lot. But there is one issue she's never budged on. Kamala Harris stands unequivocally with Israel.
Damn, they cooked her on that. I'm not going to lie.
Always has, and as president, she always will.
Kamala relies on her husband, Doug, for counsel on the toughest issues, like Israel's noble fight against the radical terrorists in Gaza. And when Doug talks, Kamala listens.
No, not Doug, bro. Hey, yo, chill. Yo, cool it. Cool it with my man, Doug, dude. Hey, chill. Fucking chill, dude.
Listens. Kamala and Doug, America's pro-Israel power couple.
I do think that this is yet another indication that political discourse has devolved in this spectacular fashion, because this kind of overt racist pandering by a PAC that is so closely aligned with the campaign, which is already kind of illegal, but is this kind of overt racialized pandering used to be covered in the media as unacceptable. You know what I mean? When super PACs used to do shit like this, people would be like, that's unacceptable. Look at this fucking ridiculous ad. And I feel like nowadays this is completely fucking devolved. We have completely devolved. Political discourse is so fundamentally broken. This is crazy. Doug whistle. Yeah.
When Doug talks, Kamala listens. Kamala and Doug, America's pro-Israel power couple. They were the ultimate power couple, Bill and Hillary. For a quarter century, the Clintons ruled the Democratic Party. Now it's their turn.
Dude, Doug and Kamala are just like Bill and... Nah, that doesn't even work, dog. Come on. No, I that's awesome. That's fucking dope. That's dope, man.
Kamala and Doug. Kamala relies on her husband, Doug, for counsel on the toughest issues, like Israel's noble fight against the radical terrorists in Gaza. And when Doug talks, Kamala listens.
The one thing I will assure you always, I will always give Israel the ability to defend itself.
Kamala and Doug, America's pro-Israel power couple.
Kamala Harris is a strong leader for these difficult times. And joining Kamala will be her husband and top advisor, Doug Emhoff, who would be the first Jewish president.
Damn, bro, they are cooking Doug. They're cooking Doug so much. I don't think Doug has anything to do with this, man. That's so funny. Yo, that they're kind of hyping my man up a little bit, okay? They're hyping my man up. Now, remember, this is a PAC that Elon Musk is associated with. Why the fuck are they making a goddamn PAC like this? Why the fuck are they making a goddamn PAC like this where they're just overtly being like, Kamala Harris is mind controlled by her Jewish husband? That's insane, dude. You're fucking insane for making an ad like this. It just shows that you're a little bit of a Nazi yourself, you know?
Presidential spouse ever. Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff making history, standing up for what's right, supporting Israel.
It's especially funny to present Doug like this. because it's fucking Doug. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I think Kamala Harris arrived at this conclusion all on her own. I don't think there was any input from Doug. Oh, that's awesome.
Elon Musk announced that his Trump-supporting Political Action Committee, America PAC, will donate $1 million daily until Election Day to individuals who sign a petition encouraging Republican voter registration in key battleground states. This pledge, which began on Saturday as Musk handed a lottery-style check to the first winner of his contest at a town hall event, could mean Musk is on the hook for $17 million if he remains the sole donor to his own PAC. The America PAC petition targets registered voters in Pennsylvania, asking them to pledge support for the First and Second Amendments. By signing, voters, especially Trump supporters, are encouraged to register for the $1 million lottery. Though the petition aims to mobilize Republican voters, any registered Democrat in Pennsylvania could also sign it. Musk's Harrisburg event on Saturday was his third in as many days across Pennsylvania, where he has been urging early voting and stressing the importance of voter turnout. Musk has donated $75 million to America PAC, which handles much of Donald Trump's ground game in battleground states.
You don't always know where Kamala Harris stands. Fracking, private health care, a secure border. Kamala was against all of that.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Now she's worried about losing, so she's saying the opposite. She's changed her mind a lot, but there is one issue she's never budged on that makes her worth it. Kamala Harris stands unequivocally with Israel and against its enemies. She always has, and as president, she always will.
This November, let's make history. Joining Kamala will...
You know what's really funny? These guys are so dumb for making this ad like this. Okay, let me tell you why. Because the people that are writing these ads, like, they're also probably fucking straight up Nazis and shit. And, or even if they're not themselves, they literally fucking think that, like, the average Muslim thinks about Doug or cares about him. The much better way to run these, like, anti-Kamala ads would be that she stands with Biden unconditionally. Because those guys don't give a shit about Doug, dumbass. They care about Biden doing the fucking genocide right now. And Kamala Harris has time and time again given incredible opportunities for these fucking attack ad writers to just be like, she stands with Israel just like she stands with Biden, who is nuking fucking Gaza. Okay? Like, if they wanted to do this, they should have, if they wanted to do a better job with this, if they weren't so fucking invested in, like, the notion that every single person in, like, Hamtramck is just, like, thinking that Kamala Harris is obviously being mind controlled by her Jewish husband, like, they would do that instead. But it's clear that they don't have the sauce. They don't have the sauce at all. They don't even understand what the fuck they're doing.
Will be her husband, Doug Emhoff, the first Jewish presidential spouse ever.
Vice President Harris has
Okay, shut up. Hamtram. Fuck you.
Aside for right side. Harris has made herself clear. She stands with Israel and the Jewish people. She has a
Hamtramck. Anyway, good stuff. How is this ad legal? I mean, dude, you can say whatever the fuck you want if you're a super PAC, pretty much. Elon learned from Galloway. George Galloway has different campaign letters for the white and Muslim households in Rockdale. Harris ad targeting college kids. Wait, what?
I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
I'm done. You won't get pussy if you don't vote for Kamala Harris.
Ladies, I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan?
Bro, the people working on the campaign have to be the most online people on the planet. I swear to God. Like, let me tell you something, okay? The moment that you see an ad like this and you go, this speaks to me, understand they're cooked. If any ad that they put out speaks to you directly, you're probably fucked, okay? You are the last person that they should be targeting.
plans to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing. Hello, ladies.
Is his lethally TikTok pilled, which will be banned by the order of the Biden-Harris admin in 3 months? Yeah. Kamala Harris staffers watch too many fucking Jubilee reaction videos? Yeah, probably. I don't understand this ad at all. Why are the balloons popping? It's when like they reject you. It's like a style of content online, dating content, serialized like dating show content where ladies line up, they have a red balloon, and they pop it if they don't like something that you said. 1v20 is the best psyop since fentanyl. It's just brain rotted shit. Cool stuff though. All right, let's get back to, is Kamala Harris turning her back on the Arab American vote?
When we
the
met up
answer
with
is
her,
yes.
she was preparing a spoken word poem to perform at a rally.
And when someone asks me, where's my smile? I tell them I sent it to the children of Palestine 6,000 miles away. It's in the land where olive trees witness bombings each and every day, where the sun paint hues on resilient Palestinians who always find their way.
Michigan is home to more than 300,000 Arab Americans. Immigrants from present-day Syria and Lebanon came here in the beginning of the 20th century to work in car manufacturing factories. And with each outbreak of war and mass displacement in the Middle East, more and more Arab immigrants called Michigan home.
Dearborn is home to the largest Arab American population in the country. You know, if you drive down, just down the street, you'll see a lot of Arab American owned restaurants and businesses. This is the home of Arab America.
While in Dearborn, we also reconnected with Adam Abu Salah. Adam volunteered for the Biden campaign in 2020, but now Adam says he can't endorse the party.
This administration right now has continued to support Israel with their actions within the last 11 months and really haven't changed anything. So for us, you know, talking to our families back home, talking to people here in our community, we're really hurt by this administration. 40,000 people dead, 20,000 children dead. This is just too much for any of us to say, you know what, let's look past this and continue to support the Democratic Party.
When Joe Biden dropped out of the race and Kamala Harris became the nominee, Adam was initially hopeful. But he says he's been disappointed in the campaign statements since then.
You know, we hear a lot of talks about a ceasefire, but Kamala Harris and everybody, they say, you know, we want a ceasefire, but, and then what we want to see is a permanent ceasefire.
The week we traveled to Dearborn, the city was hosting ArabCon. At the convention, Arab political leaders and organizers were discussing the community's role in this year's election. Arab and Muslim voters overwhelmingly supported the Democratic Party in 2020. An estimated 69% of them voted for Biden in the last election. That helped Democrats in Michigan, where margins have historically been slim.
Obviously, to state that Donald Trump only won by 10,000 votes in 2016, and we just saw 101,000 people vote uncommitted. So this is definitely a state that Democrats should be paying attention to. You know, I know right now in the polls, Kamala Harris is up, but guess what? Hillary Clinton, a week before elections, was up 10% in Michigan, and she ended up losing to Donald Trump by 10,000 votes.
Now, a recent national poll puts Kamala Harris's support with the Muslim community at 30%, and that's tied with the percentage of Muslim Americans who say they're planning on voting for Jill Stein and the Green Party. And that number includes Adam.
You know, the Arab and Muslim community knows very well what a Trump presidency looks like. Many people in this community were impacted by the Trump presidency. He is a threat to our country. He's a threat to our democracy. So we also need to talk about Kamala Harris being a threat to our democracy and the Democratic Party being a threat to our democracy. As it stands right now, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein. Right now, we have a choice between candidates who have been continuous supporters of Netanyahu and the genocide that's going on. And we also have a candidate who has called this a genocide. I really don't understand why Democrats would think that out of the three candidates, we would go with them.
And some of the people we spoke to at ArabCon echoed Adam's sentiment.
I'm a registered Democrat, but I am voting for Jill Stein.
It's important to show that
I'm pretty sure I've worked with that lady before. I think she used to run a charity called Muslims for Progressive Values. What's your position on Jill Stein? I don't really care for Jill Stein particularly. I don't think these people care about Jill Stein either. I think they just want to fucking put a protest vote out there. Yeah. Like Jill Stein is not exactly great. But not for the reasons that people fucking are like, oh, she's a spoiler. Like, I don't give a shit about that. I wish if she was more of a, like, legit figure, I would have a different interpretation of it. But I feel like the Green Party is not super serious about like actually building a ground game or building a solid fucking alternative party. And it's not because they get sabotaged by the Democrats. That much is also obvious that happens, but that's not the reason. But yeah, I get why these people are understandably resentful. I do.
I'm a registered Democrat, but I am voting for Jill Stein.
It's important to show that the two options that we're presented with aren't necessarily our only two options.
I'm definitely not voting for genocide, so I definitely will be voting in it for an independent candidate who supports my belief.
If we give away that principle, which is what we would be doing by voting for Harris or Trump for that matter, then we've acquiesced to genocide.
The Democratic Party's refusal to hold Israel accountable has even caused longtime supporters to question their loyalty. Ali Dagher is a Lebanese-American lawyer working in Dearborn. He's a lifelong Democrat and has been volunteering in presidential campaigns since the 80s.
One of the best campaigns I've ever worked on was the Obama campaign. I loved it because it was pure passion. We went to the convention. It was amazing to see an African American become president, especially with a guy whose name was Barack Hussein Obama. This galvanized my kids, this galvanized all of us into believing in the spirit of the Democratic Party and its values.
We traveled to Michigan before Israel escalated its attack on Lebanon. Israel has killed at least 2,000 people in Lebanon in the past year. One of those victims being Lebanese-American Kamil Jawad from Dearborn. The majority of people of Arab descent in Dearborn have ties to Lebanon, including Ali, who still has family in the south.
It's going to be a close election. I really don't know how things are going to go. I think the Arab American community is likely not to vote for Harris. I'm fairly certain of that. If the war had stopped a couple of weeks ago or it stopped a month ago, there may have been some time for reconsideration. The killing that's going on in Gaza, the killing that's going on in that entire region is just wrong. There is some amount of betrayal that I felt. I don't know how I'm going to vote. I'm not going to lie to you. In my heart, I don't want Trump to win. I think he's not just a disaster for Arab Americans, but he's also a disaster for all Americans. Deep in my heart, I'm rooting for her.
Ali's family...
Wait, what? No, I don't think. Wait, really? Poll shows Harris leading Trump 49 to 47. However, with Stein in the race, Trump's support dips to 46%, while Harris maintains 49% backing. What's the reason? In Michigan, Trump beat Clinton by 10,000 votes. The legacy of the election looms large. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jill Stein received an endorsement from David Duke. A known white supremacist endorsed Stein over Trump, citing her criticism of U.S. policy on Israel as the reason. Oh, no. No way. Dude, what? No way. Bro, America's insane, dude. We are not a serious nation. Stop. Oh God. Oh my God. That's insane. I've seen a lot of pro-Stein leftists say David Duke is a DNC op to besmirch the reputation of Jill Stein. Yeah, sure. No, dude, he's just a fucking insanely anti-Semitic racist. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Also, something really funny about this is that Jill Stein, I think, is Jewish. Wow, David Duke, he's woke now. David Duke is like, listen, guys. He's like, listen, everybody, we gotta vote for the Jewish woman who's running for president of the United States of America because all of the other candidates are mind controlled by the Jews. Oh, that's awesome. He's like, David Duke be like, Jews controlled the media and the American government, which is why I'm voting for the only Jewish candidate running for president. Yeah. Wow, we're getting real nutty with it.
History is deeply tied to Michigan's labor unions, which are known for having a significant influence on the outcome of elections. Ali's father was a member of the United Auto Workers Union, UAW for short, which often is vocal in state and federal politics.
And if it wasn't for him getting a job as a UAW worker, we'd be living in poverty. And that's why I'm 100% supporter of labor. I march with them. I do whatever I can to be a part of the union. You can't live in this area without being in some form impacted by the UAW.
The union endorsed Kamala Harris for president, but also called for a permanent ceasefire in Palestine and Israel.
We're the grandkids and children of the UAW. And by calling for an immediate ceasefire, the UAW did stand up and do the right thing. And we're hoping that UAW continues to influence the administration.
While the majority of UAW members voted for Joe Biden in 2020, it's unclear how its endorsement will influence the upcoming election.
We want a president that's going to tell someone like Netanyahu, you don't own the United States Congress, and we need the American people to regain the power that has been lost. We need our country back. That's the problem here. Is she that person? I don't know.
And that sentiment of "I don't know" is what we heard a lot at ArabCon.
It's a time in history in American politics where we're choosing from the bottom of the barrel.
It's so funny. It's not funny, actually. It's very sad that like all of these people just want to vote for the Democratic Party. They're like, please just like throw me a fucking bone. And the Democrats are like, nah, you're filth. You're nothing. We'll kill your families. And there's nothing you can say or do about it. Also, thanks again to Dito2 with another 50 gifted subs right at the top of the hour. Once again, allowing 50 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Here is the 3-minute ad break now.
Elon Musk has donated approximately $75 million over the past 3 months to America PAC, the political action committee he founded to support Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. Musk, seeking to expand his influence in Republican politics and potentially within a second Trump administration, remains the sole donor to the PAC. Federal Election Commission filings from Tuesday show that Musk contributed $15 million in July, $30 million in August, and another $30 million in September. America PAC has quietly emerged as a key partner in the Trump campaign's ground game, handling much of the voter turnout efforts across battleground states. According to sources familiar with the operation, America PAC's team of around 400 canvassers per state far exceeds that of the Trump campaign and other voter outreach groups. The PAC also plans to make 3 complete rounds of contact with target voters before November. If Trump wins due to America PAC's field efforts, Musk could gain significant influence over him. Trump has already floated the idea of including Musk in his cabinet should he win a second term. A Trump spokesperson was not immediately available for comment. As of now, America PAC has spent around $30 million, 40% of its total funding, on voter outreach for Trump alone, while the rest has gone towards down ballot candidates and digital and mail advertisements supporting Trump. Musk has also increased his personal involvement, recently announcing plans to visit Pennsylvania, a critical swing state, for a series of talks in the final stretch of the election cycle. If you found this video informative, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.